The Rays will lose left-handed relief pitcher Garrett Clevenger for the remainder of the season with a sprained knee. Now, he suffered the injury on Sunday, the 7th, against the Yankees after getting into a rundown with center fielder Aaron Hicks between third and home plate. Now, this is a big loss for the Rays, who really relies heavily on that bullpen. Now, Clevenger's injury means Tampa is only left with 2 lefties in their bullpen as of today. Those 2 guys being Colin Poche and Jalen Beeks. Again, lefties are a luxury for most teams when it comes to their bullpen. I mean, I don't think the Guardians have 1 left-handed pitcher in their bullpen. So that just tells you how valuable those guys are. And having 3 in 1 bullpen and being the Rays was unheard of in a sense. But hey, now they have 2. Maybe they'll bring somebody up from the minor leagues. I highly doubt it. But still a big loss for Tampa's bullpen for sure. Now, Mets fans may have just been given an explanation as to Max Scherzer's recent struggles on the bump. Scherzer told the New York Post that he has been dealing with tightness in his right scapula over the past few weeks, but that it hasn't affected his ability to take the mound. And now, according to the source, Scherzer's short outing in Detroit had nothing to do with his back issue. Scherzer actually admitted that although it wasn't a big deal, he was kind of nursing the injury during that start in Detroit and not trying to aggravate it as much and probably not pitching 100%. But again, they still say the injury has nothing to do with his struggles. But if you're a Mets fan, I guess that's kind of the best news you could hear, because that gives you a reason as to why Scherzer has been struggling. And at least this kind of rules out the idea that Max Scherzer has totally lost it and he can only rely on foreign substances to pitch decent in the major leagues. So if I'm a Mets fan, I'm kind of relieved, right, that this news came out that he has an apparent injury. But you got to remember, this back issue does not negate the sad reality of the Mets starting rotation as of today. Through Sunday, the Mets have gotten the second lowest amount of innings out of their starters this season at 170 1/3 innings, according to Fangraphs. The same is true when it came to home runs, as only, get this, the Oakland A's starting rotation has given up more home runs at a higher rate than the Mets. Also, not to mention the rotation's 4.6 walks per 9 was the worst in the majors, to go along with an ERA of over 5.5. The Mets rotation is basically in shambles right now. Verlander just came back. Scherzer is trying to figure it out. Lucchesi didn't have a great start his last time out. Kodai Senga has been decent. Cookie Carrasco, he's still trying to come back. It's just in shambles right now. It's really tough to see. And I saw Buck Showalter's comments about that a couple days ago regarding the team as a whole.
Play better. Nobody wants to hear it. Just play better. There's a lot of things I could say, but it sounds like, excuses, and we're not going there. Play better.
He's not worried. If I'm a Mets fan, I'd be pissed to hear him say that. You got to come out. You got to say, look, we've been basically. We got to turn our around. We got to do something fast, because not only is the division getting out of hand, but the wild card as well is getting out of hand, and that's with the expanded playoffs. It's absolutely unexcusable right now. Now, Wilson Contreras has been in the headlines after St. Louis announced he'll become their sole DH for the time being. The move comes after St. Louis expressed concerns regarding Contreras' lack of connection with the pitching staff. The Redbird manager, Charlie Marmol, said, "You had a choice to continue down the road or going down, and honestly, I feel like we could have potentially ended up in a worse situation long term than what we're experiencing today. This is just noise. This goes away." He also says that the move looks retroactive, but he reassures people that he thinks it's actually proactive. I kind of agree with that. I mean, I think it's both. It's reactive because he's obviously not helping the pitching staff, and he's not doing great offensively either. And it's proactive because, hey, You gotta make a move. You gotta make a move. I think it's both. It's reactive and it's proactive. I think it can be both. I look at it both ways. It's reactive because Contreras obviously isn't doing great things with the pitching staff right now. They have a terrible ERA as a whole. It's proactive because we don't care that the guy's making $87.5 million. You can't cater to superstars. I'm sorry. They're making enough money as it is. That's being proactive. You gotta do what you gotta do. And I like the move. Now, Jomboy Media has been called out by Carlos Rodon's wife for false reporting. So apparently, this Twitter account, Yankee Mandela, he tweeted out saying Jomboy said on Talking Yanks that he's heard from unverified sources within the Yankees building to not get your hopes up on Rendon pitching this year. And here's a clip of Jomboy saying that.
Yeah, so that's the Savvy update. Rodon is got chronic back pain.
Well, it's not pain, right? It just doesn't work right.
I don't know. I mean,
it's chronic.
Don't get your hopes up for Rodon pitching this season. If we were to pass along things that have been passed along to us that are like unverified, unsourced, whatever, just like emotions, is some people are just like, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Some of the weirdest updates I've seen from a pitcher.
Well, apparently this tweet and reporting did not sit well with Rodon's wife Ashley, who responded by saying, "Bull." Now, I think this is hilarious to see a player's wife call a bluff on a report about her husband. Now look, I have seen players' wives defend their husbands before. And you know what? For the record, I think that is great. I actually think that is admirable. I just never seen a wife go at like a major media company like that. I mean, you know, Jomboy's pretty big on YouTube, so I consider him to be major. I mean, who do I believe in this situation regarding Rendon's status? I gotta be taking Jomboy's side here. I mean, he's been talking to Aaron Boone. He has connections within the Yankee organization. And whereas, you know, Rodon's wife is obviously biased, and again, support that. I'll just take what she says with a grain of salt, and what Jomboy says I take a little bit more seriously. Not saying it's written in stone, but had to bring that up. And that's all I got. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment down below your thoughts. I'm on the road to 1,500 subscribers, so hit that red button, go subscribe, don't be afraid. And as always, I will catch you guys later.